This is a small program where I use Keras to download the Gemma model and further use LoRA to fine-tune the model using some simple data from Databricks. All I want to show is how buffed methods like LoRA reduces the trainable parameters to make the fine-tuning efforts more efficient. So if you see in this program, here is where I download the Gemma model from the Keras hub. The specific model that I'm downloading is Gemma 3 instruct 1 billion parameters, and then here in the 7th cell I'm just generating a sample response. So my question is what should I do on a trip to Europe, and this is what it generated as the answer. And then here is where I download some sample data from Databricks, and then here in the next cell I just structure the data, and here is how the data looks. So this is the first data. So the data is basically the question and the short response to that question, and then I print the summary of the model before applying the LoRA. So here if you check the summary, the total parameters of the models are around like 199,000 something, and hence the trainable parameters are of the same number. And then I apply the low rank factorization, and then when I print the summary of the model again after the factorization, if you check the total trainable parameters, it's around the same number. But if you check the trainable parameters that we need to change to fine-tune the model, has significantly reduced and has become around 650k, and even if you check the memory usage, it's really dropped. So this is what the parameter efficient fine-tuning method does. And further, here is where I set all the other configurations for fine-tuning, and finally here I run the fine-tuning method. So if you see, I run fine-tuning on 1000 sample datas, and it's taking 1 second per step. So it took like 1000 seconds to train the model. And then when I prompt again to the fine-tuned model, here is what it responded. So as I said, the data fine-tuned the model to send the shorter responses rather than long responses. Hence, if you see here, it gave a shorter response versus the longer response that it sent before fine-tuning. But the main gist of this video was to show that how specifically here the LoRA method has reduced the trainable parameters to a significant number. Follow to learn more AI related concepts explained simply.